Good evening. Welcome to Channel 4 News.
Channel 4 News.
We start today with breaking news from Capitol Hill.
Relentless in pursuing the truth.
Can't touch the camera.
Relentless in exposing the story behind the story.
We need to ask you about the way it was handled.
General, please speak with me.
Relentless in covering breaking news.
We've got some brand new video tonight of a high-speed chase.
And relentless in our commitment to bring you news wherever you are, on air, online, and social.
The outcry is getting louder by the day.
Channel 4 News. We never stop working for you.
We're dealing with the worst possible conditions imaginable.
This is crazy.
All of Tennessee shares our sorrow over the loss here of life and obviously all the other damage that has been done here. This is a special place in the state of Tennessee.
Everything is burning around us, every cabin, everything.
My house was gone. My business of 31 years is gone.
Smoke was so thick we couldn't breathe.
It's a little numbing to see the extent of the damage.
The things I've known probably don't exist anymore. Pray for us.
Fires in East Tennessee are threatening one of the state's most popular tourist destinations. We have team coverage.
Some devastating pictures out there tonight. Downtown Gatlinburg under mandatory evacuation because of fire in the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Police are going into the area to get people out. National Guard called in. City officials urging everyone to leave. Here is why. The video posted, look at this, across social media. Just terrifying here tonight.
Fire officials here in Gatlinburg tell us they are still going door to door, checking for people who may be trapped in their homes.
Thousands of people are waking up to devastation. Turns out you're the owner of the Westgate Hotel, which is now destroyed. Is that right?
Well, mostly. We lost about 74 of 100 buildings.
We just learned, sadly, the death toll in the raging wildfires there has now grown to 7.
We've spent most of the afternoon just driving around some of the most ravaged areas, and it's been unbelievable. Most of it looks like what you see behind me. There's hardly anything left.
What is a place to come to have fun, such a tourist attraction. Tonight is a place of uncertainty and heartbreak.
We are live at Bluff View Way, actually above Pigeon Forge and Sevierville, where we have followed the Williamson County and Brentwood fire departments here. As we walk, you can see all around me nothing but charred soil, burned trees. But you can still see that smoke is rising from the ground, even on the way up here. The signs directing us to Bluff View, the cabins here, those signs were melted because of the heat from the fire.
Hundreds of people fled their burning homes in Gatlinburg and in Pigeon Forge Monday as a mandatory evacuation was put into place. But some of those people are now questioning the way they were notified.
No warning, nothing.
The damage on the Dollywood property was not too significant, but just down the road a few miles, the scene was very different. The last time they were on this road, Tim and Donna Patrick were running for their lives.
When we came up here on Monday, everything was in flames here.
They decided to climb the hill on Ski Mountain Road today, hoping to see something, anything that reminded them this was home.
I saved the bowl. It's all I could save out of this whole rubble of mess.
The Patricks lived on this cliff overlooking the Gatlinburg they grew to love.
And I had hope I might find something, and you get here and there's nothing.
An antique cannon was about the only other thing that survived. But even before they sifted through the rubble, the couple had made a decision. They would rebuild right here in this very spot.
We do have the view, and we're going to start over again.
No! Oh, no, no, no!
We've got a fireball at the rec park. We've had some kind of explosion. I don't know if it's a plane or what.
I'm Captain Jeff Coos with the U.S. Navy Blue Angels.
I was actually just praying that whoever was in that plane was okay or they got out. I was hoping, I was like, dear God, please let them have a parachute.
I'm extremely grateful for the family and friends that have gotten me to where I am and the great team that I'm a part of here.
Good afternoon, everyone. Breaking news here from Channel 4. We're cutting into programming for this. A Blue Angel plane has crashed near the Smyrna airport.
Now, this is a picture that may show the aftermath.
We just got here. When we pulled up, it was the parking lot actually of the Fairway Meadows apartment in Smyrna. When we first pulled up, we saw a lot of smoke. There's less of that now, but we see a lot of emergency vehicles. It looks like Smyrna police are here as well as the FAA. There's many people standing around here telling us they have pictures and videos that they're trying to send us right now. They say it was just a terribly chaotic situation, very scary when the Blue Angels plane went down.
We have received word too that there is a confirmed fatality. We believe the pilot has died in that crash.
We just got this release from the town of Smyrna minutes ago. They are confirming that this crash did occur during an afternoon maneuver session in preparation for the Great Tennessee Air Show this weekend.
I've been talking to a lot of people around this apartment complex. They are just devastated and very shaken up that somebody lost their life today and that they were so close to it. They could see it, they could feel it. They saw a huge plume of smoke coming as well as a fire. One woman that I talked to says she was in her apartment when she felt a shake, and the shake was so impactful she actually fell to the ground.
We have a 911 call from the scene of the accident. This just coming into our newsroom. Let's go ahead and we're going to listen to it for the first time with all of you at home.
We've got a fireball at the rec park. We've had some kind of explosion near the rec park. I don't know if it's a plane or what.
We're waiting for the military to arrive, and there they are. Military, their fire personnel, police personnel, a host of emergency responders as well, and they're about to begin the news conference. Let's listen in.
It's been confirmed that it was in fact a Blue Angel that went down, and there was one fatality.
We are now releasing the name of the Blue Angel pilot.
We have been told we can tell you who it is. It is Marine Captain Jeff Cuss. Marine Captain Jeff Cuss against the Blue Angels combined of both Navy and Marine captains. So this is a picture of Captain Jeff Cuss putting that human face to the life and the sadness we've been reporting here all afternoon.
Joining me now, though, is Bill Lynch, who was actually here right behind the elementary school. He was here watching the practice round. Tell us what you saw, what you heard.
It was just going, you could tell it was and it was trying to stall, and it was going really slow.
How is this really going to affect this community for probably years to come?
Well, it's one of those things, unfortunately, you're going to remember where you were when you heard about it.
Just beyond that tree line you see behind me, there are neighborhoods. So we're talking about dozens of homes. And since it's summer and kids are out of school, many people were home when this crash occurred. They saw it, they felt it, and now they have frightening accounts of exactly what they experienced.
We've been talking about some of the interview we've been trying to get from Knoxville with Captain Jeff Cuss, who just died today.
I've got a question here this afternoon from Braxton Folk. Going to answer it here the best I can. He says, how do you become a pilot?
This crash is all anybody here in Smyrna can talk about. They say it's going to be hard to get the images and sounds out of their heads.
I think I could describe it as like a huge crash of thunder, but it felt like electricity in the air.
Most felt it before they saw it.
The whole house shook tremendously like an earthquake. I lost my balance and I fell.
Cecilia Shaker lives in the Fairway Apartments on Weekly Lane, just yards from where the plane went down around 3 o'clock.
Seen a big cloud of smoke, and you could see flames and feel the heat.
Dozens crowded around the scene.
I see a fireball and black smoke everywhere.
Waiting for news, hoping for the best, but expecting the worst.
I feel bad for the family. And in my heart, I'm going to say an extra prayer for him tonight and for his family. And God bless them. God bless them. I'm sorry.
Now, a Channel 4 News primetime special, Dishonorable Conduct.
General, will you please speak with me? Tonight, exposing military secrets.
Obviously, the organization is infested with corruption.
And criminal behavior inside one of the state's most revered organizations.
They're finally understanding that this is really going on in the military.
A series of Channel 4 I-Team investigations into men held to the highest of standards.
I'm placed under arrest for driving under the influence of alcohol.
Accused of tarnishing the reputation of the Tennessee National Guard.
This female officer says that you sexually harassed her and then threatened her career.
Prompting outrage from prosecutors.
Someone sent me your story. I was surprised, probably a little bit angry.
To the U.S. Congress.
I've lost my patience on this one. Enough is enough.
What you will see in the next hour is proof, according to whistleblowers, of widespread corruption within the Tennessee National Guard. From how guardsmen are advancing through the ranks despite criminal behavior to reports of sexual misconduct that go all the way to the top of the Major General's staff. Retired Colonel William Wenzler was more than happy to answer questions from the governor, but was in quite the hurry when the I-Team had questions for him as well. This female officer says that you sexually harassed her and then threatened her career. What do you say to that? There isn't anything you want to say to that?
I want to thank you for your interest in the military department, and I'd like to thank you guys for supporting the veterans.
We've been trying to speak to Wenzler about this, an Inspector General's investigation that shows he was found to have failed to adhere to military values for inappropriate comments and references to this female officer, including when she told Wenzler at a conference that she would walk away if he seriously offended her. He replied, "You might not want to do that. That might be bad for your career." Following that encounter, she told military investigators he sexually propositioned her.
He said that, I'd really like to you. This is my room number.
I denied everything then. I'm denying it again now. I will not participate in a reinvestigation of something that was unfounded to start with.
So are you saying that the military investigators were wrong then in their findings?
Absolutely.
And those military investigators also found more, that he improperly used government resources when he instructed that a female civilian subordinate receive a government BlackBerry that was used for the two to have after-hours conversations, a subordinate with whom he had an improper relationship. Do you think any of this should have precluded you from being rehired with the National Guard?
So I'll refer that question to General Hastings, sir.
General, I have some questions for you. So we tracked down the general after the budget hearing because during the Army investigation, Wenzler was his chief of staff. Do you have any concern about what the military investigators found?
I have concern about it. However, I will tell you is that having been through numerous investigations, that investigation was very shallow. Colonel Wenzler has denied these allegations that's in there.
Can you explain why Colonel Wenzler was rehired despite the findings from the military investigation?
Because he was absolutely the best man for the job. He has the background, has the experience, and has everything that that job needs and takes.
It sends a bad message.
But Brian Clubb questions Wenzler's rehiring. He works for an association that helps women in the military who've been harassed or battered.
When he was rehired, I think it's saying we don't care about sexual harassment.
Davidson County's top election official abruptly resigned today.
And only the Channel 4 I-Team knows what led up to it. We've been investigating spending by Chairman Ron Buchanan and another top election official. The two met with the I-Team 3 days ago, but no one was prepared for what happened right in front of our camera. Here's the I-Team's Alana Autler.
Based on a tip, we started looking into expenses made by Elections Administrator Kent Wall. His boss is Chairman Ron Buchanan. And when I pressed for answers on the spending, Buchanan wasn't pleased. We want to warn you the language you're about to hear is strong, but we feel it's important for you to see our questions and his answers. Could you have gone to another restaurant that perhaps was not as expensive? It was this question about dining at an upscale restaurant that made the city's top election official walk away. And after we asked another question, can you explain the picture frame that's $600?
That's it.
This is how Ron Buchanan reacted.
That's exactly the bitch I thought you would be.
Just in case you missed it, a question about spending prompted this.
That's exactly the bitch I thought you would be.
That was Friday. Today, Buchanan resigned, and it all follows a nearly 2-month investigation by the Channel 4 I-Team into purchases made on Election Administrator Kent Wall's Metro-issued credit card. Some of those purchases included dinners for Buchanan, and here's why those meals raise questions. First, look at this. Metro's policy reads, the use of Metro credit cards for meals at local restaurants is generally not allowable. Yet the Channel 4 I-Team found Wall and Buchanan racked up $123 at Sperry's, an upscale restaurant in Belle Meade. Speaking of Belle Meade, the two later ate at Sam's Place, $63. Wall also bought lunch at Kadia's restaurant and Dalt's. But all these are small purchases compared to what else we found to decorate Wall's office. $140 to frame a picture of the Nashville skyline. Nearly $150 at TJ Maxx for lamps and bookends. And $614 to frame a map of Metro's districts. That purchase came after a controversial vote made by the Davidson County Election Commission. It spurred this kind of reaction from a councilman.
They are trying to hold everyone hostage in the community by claiming if they don't get money for more internal office positions, then somehow they can't run the early voting sites.
8 months ago, the commission had voted to shut down 10 early voting sites, citing a budget shortfall, even though their proposed budget was $1 million more than the year before. Eventually, the commission and council reached a compromise, and council shelled out an additional $283,500. The same month the sites were almost shut down, Buchanan and Wall ate at Sperry's. Councilman Jim Schulman, who chairs the committee that oversees public elections, wonders if that kind of spending was appropriate.
Again, you're talking about government. You're not talking about private business.
So the I-Team requested Wall's credit card statements and other documentation. Nearly a month later, Wall announced he would retire on March 31st. Guess when the commission said we could get our information? March 31st.
Live with a forewarned weather alert, this is Channel 4 News Today.
7 o'clock now. Channel 4 News Today continues with special coverage of the winter storm that is in the process of bringing snow to Nashville and much of Middle Tennessee.
And we are working for you with live team coverage this morning. We have reporters several places, but let's first of all go over to Melanie, where traffic is a major concern. Melanie?
Traffic is a mess this morning, guys. Very, very scary out there, too. We're taking a look right here over I-40. This is heading eastbound right at the Wilson County line at mile marker 223. We had a huge accident here that's basically shutting down the interstate.
Oh my goodness, it is coming down in the Donaldson area, and that's where we find Channel 4's Brianna Arredondo this morning. Good morning to you, Brianna. Wow, big changes in the last hour even.
As you can see down there, there's some people who are stuck along this road. There are some tow trucks who have been coming to try to get people up here. There's pickup trucks who have been hitching rides with other people just to try to get up this hill.
We're still tracking that transition to snow. It's moving its way across Metro Nashville as we speak. And yeah, it's earlier than anticipated. And I've been saying the past couple of days, the faster it switches over, the higher the amounts are going to be. Total accumulations bumped it up to 3 to 6 for Metro Nashville. I know it sounds like a wide range and you want to know what you're going to get in your yard, but it depends partly on elevation, depends on exactly where the heaviest snow band's set up. And those are tiny, tiny little things within this whole huge storm system. The pattern is the more important thing. It's going to be heavier to the northwest. And actually the most important thing, don't go out if you don't have to. Roads are already a mess.
We've got Carly now stuck downtown.
Carly, tell us where you are.
Okay, so I'm at YMCA Way and Charlotte Avenue, and I need y'all's help. I want to show you. I'm hitting the gas, and I'm not going anywhere. Hey,
YMCA area right there. Oh,
here's
Good Samaritan right here. He's going to try and help us. Wonderful. See, this is live television.
I wonder if he knows if he's on live TV right now. This is a real life hero, y'all.
He's going to try and help us right now. All right, also.
All right, do I push the gas?
She's trying to figure out what to do. Okay, she's going to try to figure out if we
while they're doing
puts
that,
it in drive or reverse.
Let me jump in here with a point that if you floor it and spin your wheels, you're melting the snow under your tires, which then freezes and creates ice, and you are not going to get out.
Right, that's going to pack you
Sir,
even
you're
more.
on live TV right now.
You should put it on in neutral and have him push.
I'm literally in the middle of the intersection. Zena, try and show these guys. They deserve a little credit.
Oh.
Tell him he's on TV.
We appreciate them so much.
Oh my gosh, if my parents could see me now.
This is a very slow system to move through the midstate, and there's another band of heavier snow that's just to the west of Nashville. It's kind of lining up through Cheatham County, western Williamson County, over into Dixon and Hickman counties. That's going to work its way in. Lots of heavy snow through the eastern half of the midstate as well.
I want you to check this out behind me because people on Wingrove Street woke up to a tractor trailer and a whole lot of chili this morning. You can see that right here on the decline of this hill, that's where this tractor trailer flipped over right on its side.
There's 200 guys out there suddenly that are all helping to push this car. But yeah, see, this is what we've seen.
Oh, there they go.
There they go.
See, this
Way
is
to go,
success
guys.
number 2.
It is. It's
right there with our own Channel 4 Carly Gordon.
Carly is bringing us just one miracle after the next today. Please, all I hope is, are these guys going to help you guys up the hill now? What's happening? Are you going to be able to make it up?
Yeah, Zena, can you show them in the back? See if you can show them in the back.
Oh, they are pushing you.
They are pushing.
Oh, my goodness.
Here we go, folks.
Thank you. So many good Samaritans out there, people with wonderful
Thank
hearts.
you.
The engineers here at Channel 4 drew straws this morning, and George, our assistant chief engineer, drew the shortest straw. So he has to sweep off the satellite dish so we can continue to transmit here at Channel 4 to you at home. This is not Middle Tennessee. This doesn't happen in Middle Tennessee except for maybe once every 20, 30, 40 years, something like that.
It's about shift change. I just got hit with a face full of snow.
We turned over to snow here in Nashville around 6 or 7 o'clock this morning. Current time now is 3, so almost without stopping, it's been snowing in Nashville now for a good 8 to 9 hours, and still a little bit more to come.
We're on Highway 70 right now in Bellevue, and this is what we're seeing over and over. Cars that have slid off into the ditch. I'm going to drive a little bit further so you can see some more of these. At first, some of these we didn't even recognize, and then we drove past a second time and thought, oh my goodness, these are cars. See these? They are practically on their sides in the bushes right here, and you know that wasn't fun. That must have been very scary.
If you're planning on leaving Nashville in the next few hours, you are definitely going to encounter some headaches. The first part of your journey is going to entail actually getting here to the airport.
Now on Channel 4, Middle Tennessee has not seen a snowfall like this in more than a decade, and it wreaked havoc for people on the roads.
Driving conditions do continue to be dangerous. If you don't have to be out on the road, please stay home.
Semis flipped, cars abandoned, drivers stuck and needing a little push.
A lot of good Samaritans like these folks out here on the hill, helping get other folks out from being stranded.
And the problems may not be over yet.
This snow is going to linger into the weekend. In fact, we had 11 inches in Cross Plains, 9.5 in Goodlettsville, so some huge totals.
How much snow are we talking about? We've mentioned some of the big tallies around Cross Plains, 11 inches, even in Englewood and Davidson County, having, get this, 9 inches of snow. But generally speaking, it was 5 to 8 inches in this little blue corridor, including Nashville, 6 to 10 across the pink shaded area from Clarksville, say up into southern Kentucky, and then 3 to 6 from Murfreesboro back to Decaturville.
In the woods on the Rutherford-Cannon County line.
A man for winds blow you safely home again. You're on away.
There's a room lit in the dark on Burks Hollow Road. The sound of a Friday night jam session pouring out.
You better run away.
Express yourself, and everything's forgotten for at least that 4 or 5 hours we're playing.
For the band,
you better run away.
The music's a powerful way of letting go all the stresses that come during the day.
Yeah.
This is the one place I've come to in my 30 years of life that I've actually felt safe and at home.
That home for Wesley Young is Hippie Hill, a campground where residents often come after living homeless.
Chickens and rams, and we got pigs back here. We usually work from, the morning till about 4 o'clock.
Wesley says it's important to have chores, purpose, after his long years hitchhiking, hopping freight trains, playing music on the street to eat.
Most people that are here, we've had struggles, to get through life. I had a 5-year struggle with methamphetamines. I've been clean for 12 years now. I face my emotions. I face my demons. I stare life down the throat and say, hey, I'm gonna do this no matter what. This is home. Home sweet shack. This is a good ship, Hippie Hill. And you'd be surprised, but chicks dig it.
Life still isn't entirely easy. Over the winter, wind came up from the valleys below, ripping through the tarps where Wesley slept.
It gets cold, it does, and you get scared sometimes, but luckily we got a wood stove.
But after a long week and whatever it brought, a Friday afternoon might start with some harmonica. Naturally, with the dog on a porch.
This story begins at Pearl-Cohn High School, the clock ticking down to Valentine's Day. An unassuming guy wanted to make a very big impression.
That's what I'm saying, man.
And time was wasting.
I actually was thinking about a girl, a special young lady, and I've been trying to impress her, and I decided to, listen to a lot of love songs and try to get ideas.
Listening is nothing new for Alden Hall. Since grade school, he's been soaking up what you might call old school. Escaping into his parents' rich record collection.
You got Otis Redding, Sam Cooke, Teddy P, you got Luther, you got the Whispers, the Shy-Lights, the Delphonics, the Dramatics, the Ozzy Brothers, Kool in the Gang, Earth, Wind and Fire. I mean, they have the records, the real records.
But it would take the perfect ballad to win the girl.
I came after school, I'm running from my last class, dodging people, and I came in and I was like, I can do it. I can do it.
Could he do it? Listen, and you decide.
Love has truly been good to me. Not even one sad day or minute had I had since you come my way. I hope
that may be a Luther Vandross hit, but it's not Luther.
Go anywhere you take me, so amazing to be loved. Follow you to the moon and the sky above.
It's all Alden.
This is a special presentation of the Smoky Mountain Wildfires Telethon.
We have dozens of singers who have volunteered their time. They've come into Studio B. They're in the green room right now. Take a look. I'm telling you, when we put out the call, everyone came running. It's what we do here in Tennessee. That's why we're the volunteer state.
Do the wheels always turn this slow on Music Row?
More than $2,000 have been donated so far. So come out, bring us your cash or check donation.
Montgomery Gentry throwing out the challenge, everybody. So Music Row, I know you're listening. Come on, open up the checkbook.
I do.
Look,
So,
he brought me a check.
On behalf of Montgomery Gentry and our organization.
Thank you.
For y'all's fundraiser.
Thank you so much.
I hope you do well. Sorry we couldn't
Oh
be
gosh,
here.
there's a lot of zeros on there. Okay.
Please be careful with my paper heart.
Hey everybody, this is Kenny Chesney. I just want to say to everybody in East Tennessee and to everybody back where I come from in Gatlinburg, Tennessee, that I am thinking about you. I am loving you really hard right now.
Hey everybody, this is Brad Paisley. Sorry I couldn't be there tonight, but it's really important that you give.
Wow, $173,255. Guys, this is amazing.
Probably the thing that you don't realize, and that one of the reasons why I would really encourage people to give right now, is that people from East Tennessee, they don't like to ask for help.
Right.
They don't. They're very proud. People, they're like, leave us alone, we're in the mountains, we can handle this. There's nothing we can't handle. And I believe there's a time now that there's things that they can't handle, and we need to do whatever we can.
Our total donations online just keep going up and up and up. Look at this. We are so close to 200,000. Come on now.
In the end, that's all I am.
Thank you so much for watching our Smoky Mountain Wildfire Telethon. Are you ready for this?
Okay.
What we've raised between the church drop-off, our corporate giving, and our online donations, $266,000, $704.49. Yes.
This is home. It's our town, it's our song. This is home. This is where we belong. This is
We've got a fireball at the rec park.
We've had some kind of explosion. I don't know if it's a plane or what.
I'm Captain Jeff Coos with the U.S. Navy Blue Angels.
I was actually just praying that whoever was in that plane was okay or they got out. I was hoping, I was like, dear God, please let them have a parachute.
I'm extremely grateful for the family and friends that have gotten me to where I am and the great team that I'm a part of here.
Live with breaking news. This is Channel 4 News at 10.
And good evening. Tonight, residents in Smyrna are gathering by candlelight. Tributes are pouring in across the country to honor the memory of Blue Angels pilot Jeff Coos.
And as they do, there are those who are running the air show this weekend say although the Blue Angels aren't flying, everyone else will.
Navy officials are investigating the crash tonight, working to determine what exactly caused Jeff Coos' jet to go down this afternoon. Incredible images have been coming into the newsroom all night, and emotional eyewitness accounts from residents who not only saw, but felt that jet hit the ground.
And we're going to be hearing from many of them tonight. Also, our Channel 4 crews have been in Smyrna talking to witnesses and investigators for hours to bring you extensive coverage of this tragedy. Channel 4's Heather Horrigan attended that vigil tonight, held for pilot Jeff Coos.
But let's start our coverage tonight with Liz Loheis. Liz, it's been a chaotic afternoon for the people of Smyrna tonight. We understand they are still visibly shaken and emotional over what they witnessed this afternoon.
Tracy and Alan, people are very emotional today over this loss, this very unexpected loss. I am live at the Smyrna airport, just 2 miles away from where Coos' jet went down. Now, we're going to get to more of that in a minute, but I do want to let you know all roads around the airport are back open. Parts of Sam Davis Road were closed earlier today, but they have since been reopened. Meanwhile, this crash is all anybody here in Smyrna can talk about. They say it's going to be hard to get the images and sounds out of their heads.
I think I could describe it as like a huge crash of thunder, but it felt like electricity in the air.
Most felt it before they saw it.
The whole house shook tremendously like an earthquake. I lost my balance and I fell.
Cecilia Shaker lives in the Fairway Apartments on Weekly Lane, just yards from where the plane went down around 3 o'clock.
Seen a big cloud of smoke and you could see flames and feel the heat.
Dozens crowded around the scene.
I see a fireball and black smoke everywhere.
Waiting for news, hoping for the best, but expecting the worst.
I feel bad for the family, and in my heart I'm going to say an extra prayer for him tonight and for his family. And God bless them. God bless them. I'm sorry.
Smyrna police and fire were first to respond to the scene, but now it's a federal investigation.
When you're standing here, you get a knot in your stomach knowing that somebody lost their life. And this morning, I work in downtown Nashville, and I just stood there and seen the Blue Angels fly over, and then 9 hours later, I'm standing here because one of them tragically lost their life.
Again, it's too early to determine what exactly caused the crash. Navy officials tonight are calling it a mishap. But one thing is for sure, the people here in Smyrna are going to be deeply impacted by this event today for years to come. Reporting live in Smyrna, Liz Loheis, Channel 4 News.
Liz, thank you. The pilot, Jeff Coos, was a native of Durango, Colorado. He was commissioned as a second lieutenant in the Marines back in 2006. Coos had previously served in Afghanistan before joining the Blue Angels, and tonight, residents in Smyrna came together to honor the Marine captain. Channel 4's Heather Horrigan joins us live with more on that part of the story. Heather.
Yeah, Alan, this is what is left from the vigil tonight. Flags, candles, and flowers, all to honor Captain Jeff Coos. And the vigil was about an hour and a half ago. Hundreds of people gathered here in this park, which is just across the street from the Smyrna airport. They gathered to honor the fallen Blue Angel. The vigil started with a prayer and then 6 minutes of silence since Coos was the pilot of Jet 6. Now, those here tonight were still distraught and in disbelief over what they witnessed today.
Sorry for the families and of course for the person and for the whole team because they're like a family.
But the gentleman passed away doing what he loves, and very few people get the opportunity to even do what they love.
flying along with serving his country is what Captain Coos loved doing, and it's clear tonight that he will be remembered as a hero.
God bless America.
An entire nation, along with the Smyrna community, mourning the loss of a hero tonight.
And he's a hero.
That hero is this man, 32-year-old Jeff Coos from Durango, Colorado. He leaves behind a wife and 2 young children. Coos had accumulated more than 1,400 flight hours in order to become a Blue Angel. He has been flying with them since 2014 after serving in Afghanistan. Here's a clip of Coos after taking some NHL players up in the air to experience the G-force.
And I think he caught up on a little sleep at one point, but other than that, he did a nice job. So we had a lot of fun.
A lot of fun indeed, doing what Coos loved. And those in Smyrna tonight who didn't know him thank him for what he did here. They say he chose his life over others in the community by not deploying his parachute.
Like the parachute would be way up in the air, and I didn't see one, and that was just, you know, the way the Blue Angels kept circling, it was just very sad.
It's built into them to save other people's lives before their own. So he sacrificed his life when it could have been much worse.
For sacrificing his own life to save the others, I mean, he's definitely a hero in my eyes. I mean, even any person in the military to me is a hero.
And Coos is also a decorated hero. He has received the Strike Flight Air Medal along with Navy and Marine Corps Achievement Medals, as well as personal and unit awards as well. And that's just to name a few. Certainly a man that is going to be missed by so many. Reporting live in Smyrna tonight, Heather Horgan, Channel 4 News.
All right, thank you, Heather. The Associated Press talked to Coos's grandfather at his home in Durango. Dolph Coos said it was very hard to put into words what happened, but said it's beautiful that a person can live and die engaged in their life's pursuits. He said his grandson had dreamed of being an aviator since he was a child.
What a beautiful statement from that grandfather. I want to show you the area where this happened. Here's the Smyrna Airport. Here's the runway. This is where the accident occurred. This is near the bowling alley there. And as you can see now, the cleanup happening literally in people's backyards. Our Channel 4 reporter Liz Loheis and photojournalist Zach Tucker were at the Fairway Apartments on Weekly Lane when first responders first showed up at the scene.
Now, weather at the time of the crash also tells a pretty good story. Lisa Spencer and I are in the Weather Center. And Lisa, witnesses described a clear sky, rather clear sky at the time of the crash.
That's right. There was no rain around. And we know that the winds around flight level were, nothing out of the ordinary.
Right.
Looking right now at one of the pictures that was taken as this event occurred, take a look at the cumulus clouds. You can see how towering they are and building. That's an indication of some strong winds going up. So there were updrafts in the area, and we've got updrafts. You're also going to see some downdrafts as well. This is what we were seeing on radar, though. Nothing was close to Smyrna in terms of rainfall until about 30 minutes later, when this developing shower moved toward the northeast and moved right near Smyrna. Of course, we have no way of knowing for sure at this point if indeed the weather had anything to do with this storm, but I'm sure that's one of the things investigators will be looking at. And we have a little bit more on the weather conditions at that time on our weather blog at WSMV.com.
All right, Lisa, thank you. This Blue Angels team flew over Nashville today early this morning. You may have seen them flying over a crowded Broadway at around 9:30 this morning.
Today's crash marks the 27th in the Blue Angel team's 70-year history, celebrating its 70th anniversary this year. Now, this last crash prior to today's was in 2007 at the Marine Corps Air Station in Beaufort, South Carolina. In December of 2004, a Blue Angels pilot safely ejected before his jet crashed into the Gulf of Mexico during a training flight. The last before that was in 1999. The first Blue Angels crash was in 1946. Nearly a half-century ago, Nashville mourned the loss of one of its own Blue Angels. Lieutenant Bill Worley died in a winter training maneuver in Southern California. Channel 4's Nancy Amons looks back.
Lieutenant Bill Worley was a Nashville native. He went to West End High School and Vanderbilt University. He had finished a tour of duty as a fighter pilot in Vietnam before joining the Blue Angels, his dream assignment. I talked to his brother, Bob Worley, who now lives in Franklin. An obituary from 48 years ago tells a brief story of Lieutenant Bill Worley, a Navy aerobat who died when he failed to eject from his F-11A Tiger It was one like this. Bill Worley's brother Bob remembers the day his family got the news that his brother had been killed. It was a snowy day in Nashville, January 14, 1968. His brother was 29.
About 1:30 in the afternoon, our minister comes driving up the street and couldn't get up the driveways and barely made it up the street, and then comes walking up to the house. So that was how we got the news. But that was a tough day. Today I feel, I feel sorry for his family.
Worley and another pilot had been practicing in El Centro, California. They were practicing 7 days a week. Bob says the Navy concluded his brother had probably blacked out from the G-force during a maneuver over the desert floor.
These guys are extreme professionals, and they really enjoy what they're doing. My brother did too. He was doing that because he really loved what he did.
Worley was Blue Angel number 6, the same number as the pilot who died today. Nancy Amons, Channel 4 News.
Now, we mentioned at the top of the newscast, officials with the Great Tennessee Air Show said it will continue on as scheduled on Saturday and Sunday at the Smyrna Airport. We know the Blue Angels will not be flying. And back here in Nashville, Mayor Megan Barry has now ordered the Metro Courthouse and Korean Veterans Memorial Bridge to be lit yellow and blue tomorrow night in honor, of course, of Marine Captain Jeff Coos. And Channel 4 has been on the air for about 4 hours this afternoon as this crash began to unfold. And you can find all of our coverage on our website, WSMV.com. Check out pictures from our viewers and video from when the Blue Angels flew over downtown Nashville this morning.
And as we learn new developments in this deadly Blue Angels crash, we will continue to bring you updates on air, on our Channel 4 app, and again on our website, WSMV.com.
It was a routine stop for a Metro undercover officer, but it's what happened during that stop that sent him to the hospital.
And they seem to be on every corner. Critics say preying on the desperate. The possible new rules protecting borrowers here in Tennessee from going into debt. The summer boating season just began, and already there has been a drowning on a Middle Tennessee lake. Emergency officials in Coffee County received a call this afternoon about someone possibly needing help. Crews went to Mountain View Road near the catwalk on Normandy Lake. Well, just before 7 o'clock, divers pulled the body of a man from the water there. The victim's name has not been released, but officials say the man was not from Coffee County. A driver could soon be facing charges for allegedly hitting an undercover officer with his car on McGavock Pike and Gallatin Pike in East Nashville. Police say the officer was performing a routine stop this afternoon and was standing between his unmarked car and the car he pulled over when an elderly man hit him. The officer hurt his leg. We are still trying to find out the extent of his injuries. As we learn more, we'll update you on air and online at WSMV.com.
Another crackdown's coming on the payday loan industry. Federal regulators announced a new set of proposed rules today, and it's all designed to protect borrowers from falling into what critics are calling debt traps. That proposal by the Consumer Finance Protection Agency is for increased regulation of payday lenders, calling on them to make sure the borrower can indeed repay. Andy Spears of Tennessee Citizen Action says he hopes this proposal will help protect Tennessee borrowers from going into debt by renewing for their loan again and again.
We think that's very important in terms of assessing a borrower's ability to repay, so you don't have that situation where a $300 debt lingers for 5 months and you pay $400 in fees.
Now, to release, the Tennessee Flexible Finance Association says the proposal would be an overstep of federal government and would force borrowers to seek out underground and unlicensed lenders. It's going through a 90-day public comment period.
Channel 4 News, home of forewarned weather, rated Middle Tennessee's most accurate forecast.
Well, we have had a close eye on our radar throughout the day today. Showers on and off. And finally, this huge area of low pressure that's just drenched these folks here across parts of Texas it's starting to work its way towards the east. So we're going to continue to get some moisture rolling up from the south right here at home. So just expect more showers and thunderstorms in this forecast. And that's a part of our headlines. You better believe it. We even have some scattered showers overnight with some of that moisture coming up from the south. And then look for on and off thunder showers through early on Sunday. And then we get to the good stuff. Next week, much less humid with more sunshine in the area as well. Here's a look at our forewarned live Doppler radar right now. And we've got just a few little showers here and there across the mid-state. But the concentration is here to the south, where we've got some of that moisture coming up from Mississippi and Alabama. So over around Savannah and over to Waynesboro, up to Lawrenceburg and Pulaski, some very light rain continues to fall. It's moving very slowly, but it will slowly move across 64 there and head towards you in Summertown and also the Homewald area. And if it holds together, we could see some of that in Nashville before the night is over with. Here was our view today, though. This was this afternoon, and unfortunately just after the crash, but fortunate in the respect that there was a beautiful rainbow that formed. And this was captured by Lotus Blossom Photography, as you can see over in the Smyrna area about the time of that. And then also from Smyrna tonight, some clouds, but no rainfall for the visual that was held out there. What a nice evening for that. Temperature is much milder in the area by then. Looking outside right now, we've got our camera view over downtown, and yes, we have some clouds, but no rainfall at this point. Just a few light sprinkles otherwise across the area. So a check of how things are going to be going. Well, temperature-wise, they are really quite comfortable. 71 degrees, but I'll tell you what will get you, and that's the humidity. It is very thick outside. 66 right now. A south wind at 5 is what's helping to transport all that warm, moist air into place. So right now across the mid-state, 69 Cookeville to 70 at Waverly. That's not bad when it comes to temperatures, but look how close the dew points are to those temperatures. We likely may see some patchy fog tomorrow morning with that much moisture in the air and our temperatures at that level. So expect a pretty muggy start to the day with some pockets of fog here and there. Looking at our forewarned live Doppler radar, you can see what I mean about those showers to the south that will work through overnight tonight. Shouldn't be a big deal. There'll just be a few of those around. But the big thing to keep in mind is that low I was showing you a moment ago. That's going to be pulling across the area, and that will provide us with more showers. But this is our future cast for overnight. You can see just a little bit of moisture. We may have more than what's being shown here, but as we go through the afternoon tomorrow, we start to moisten things up. The heating gets going, and that's when we start to see these showers and thunderstorms developing. We're really not expecting anything severe. We're just going to see some heavy downpours if one of these parks it over your area. So be prepared with your umbrella tomorrow. You may not need it, but you want to be prepared for that. 68 degrees at 7, 84 degrees around noon, and 86 degrees for our afternoon high. And remember, it will be quite muggy, so it will likely feel a lot hotter than those actual temperatures until some showers come by and cool you down. Here's a look at Saturday's forecast. Showers and thunderstorms. That's going to be our really better chance of the next 3 days. And then we'll see that lingering into early on Sunday. Notice the temperatures stay in the mid-80s, and then check out that dive on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, as they'll be in the mid-80s with low humidity and no rainfall for several days there. So we'll get a nice little break coming our way.
All right. Thank you, Lisa. Back to our breaking news tonight. Navy officials investigating the crash tonight, working to determine what exactly caused Jeff Koos's jet to go down this afternoon. Officials with the Great Tennessee Air Show said it will continue on as scheduled on Saturday and Sunday at the Smyrna Airport. We know the Blue Angels will not be flying. And back here in Nashville, Mayor Megan Barry has ordered the Metro Courthouse and Korean Veterans Memorial Bridge to be lit yellow and blue tomorrow night, of course, in honor of Marine Captain Jeff Koos.
Coming up, why a surprise doll for one little girl got this reaction.
Tell him thank you.
Thank you for making a doll like me.
You'd be pretty hard-pressed to find a girl who wouldn't go crazy for an American Girl doll.
That is right. But for one little girl, this doll brought tears of joy. This is Emma Bennett. She wasn't expecting an American Girl doll, but that wasn't the real surprise. Emma has a prosthetic leg, so her parents reached out to a Step Ahead Prosthetics to help make her doll just like her. Watch.
What? You gotta be kidding me. No!
Wow, what a sweet story.
Emma's doll came with a letter about her journey. She was fitted with her tiny pink prosthetic in New York. The letter closed with, quote, "After a few weeks of training, she is ready to lead a life without limitations with you." How sweet is it? I love the little sister's reaction. She's just as excited as the doll recipient. That's so precious. And I know Chris can just so relate to it, but we'll get to that in just a minute.
Yeah, there are some moments in life that are worth another look, and that's what you can do anytime you want to. We have the story posted on our Facebook page. It's been shared thousands and thousands of times around the world, and it's worth sharing thousands more. What a great reaction.
It's good stuff,
girl.
man.
Yeah.
It's good stuff.
It is.
All right, let's turn our attention to sports now, I guess. Some Tennessee Titans do a little go-karting to help raise money for a good cause. Plus, Vandy's Jordan Sheffield is hoping his rematch against Xavier goes just as well as the first meeting did. We'll talk baseball next. The last time Vanderbilt actually lost an NCAA baseball regional at home was the very first time they hosted an NCAA baseball regional. It's 2007. The program has grown up just a bit since then, hasn't it? They know how to win here. Heck, they've won their last 5 regionals at Hawkins Field. So as we watch them prepare today, you see the confidence based on the work. The team's in its 11th straight NCAA tournament. They understand what it takes.
This is what you play for this time of year, is to get in this environment so you can have fun with it. And they do that. They've done it before, and they'll choose to do it again.
I think it's just really doing the small things and everyone taking care of their job and not trying to do too much. Just really, do what you do.
Now, the Doors will play Xavier tomorrow night, 7 o'clock. The Musketeers were here back in March, if you'll remember. Vandy swept them, and Jordan Sheffield led off the series by, well, no-hitting Xavier through 7 innings and fanning 12 batters. Sheff will get the ball again on Friday.
He was throwing the ball by us quite a bit early on. I'm hoping that, again, that we've seen some velocity as the season's gone, that, again, I do think we'll make the adjustment.
We don't really watch too much film or study too much. I think that when it comes to pitching, they have to hit you, so you don't really pitch to hitters' weaknesses. I think it's better to pitch to your strengths.
It's good strategy right there. Xavier, Vandy go at 7, UC Santa Barbara, Washington go at 2 o'clock. Let's hope for dry weather, shall we? Both schools confirmed that today the battle at Bristol will be a primetime game. 7 p.m. Central Time, Saturday, September 10th, Tennessee against Virginia Tech at the Bristol Motor Speedway, expecting upwards of 160,000 fans to pack that place. Wow. Delaney Walker and some of his Tennessee Titans teammates got out to the go-kart track today. Yeah, it's funny to watch NFL dudes in little cars. Walker hosted this charity event for his foundation, which raises money for inner city and low-income kids, and so his teammates wanted to be a part of it.
We want them to come out and support the cause. We all play for the same city, so them coming out shows that we do care about the city.
Definitely, that's something that we're trying to make sure we build around here is team chemistry, and that's everybody coming out and showing support whenever we can. If there's any type of event, we're going to try to show up.
Big dudes in little cars, it's always a good time.
Always excited. For the latest on today's Blue Angels jet crash, make sure you tune into Channel 4 News starting at 4 a.m. Rudy and Holly will bring you any overnight developments.
And of course, you can also stay up to date on our website, WSMV.com, 24/7.